The bulk of the record was written at a time where I knew my father was passing away. It was a terrifying thing for me to face, so I started writing these songs about him and his life to just sort of face losing him. It was a way for me to deal with that.
You can go wherever you want to go. Go wherever you want to.
I started noticing that when I thought I was writing a song about this, I actually circled back to my father's life. So I learned a lot about my father just from all the things that came up around writing songs about my father.
You don't ever have to go to war no more. You never have to go to war no more.
When I sat back and listened to all of the pieces together, I thought, wow, there's so much that is connected, you know. My father was a very reserved man. I realized as he was getting towards the end of his time that there were so many things I was never going to know about him because he was such a secret keeper. This is something that happens in so many lives and so many families, you know, the stories are gone. That war and that depression, you know, we'll never know what that was like.
You can go wherever you want to go.
It's not themed of my father, really. The songs were written for me to get ready to lose him and to think about who he was and to honor him. And then, you know, we went from there. So.
You can go wherever you want to go.
While I was touring with the band Joy, I was thinking, remember when I just would go out with my guitar and it was so fun? Even though I was playing with some of the best musicians anywhere, I still had this weird longing to just get up there and do it by myself, only because when you're playing with great musicians, if you're having a night where you're feeling terribly insecure, you go, that's okay, they'll cover my butt, you know. But if you're out there and you're solo, you know, you can really go wrong. And when it goes wrong.
Oh my God, crying in fear, afraid to have forgot me here.
I think it's good to go out and scare yourself, so I wanted to make a record that was stripped down enough that I could do touring that way and just really get much more basic about arrangements. I was not supposed to go in and beat myself up about technical problems. You know, I really get my head out of Nashville, really. There's a lot of, you know, pitch correct all over everything, everywhere. And, you know, there's so many great records where everybody's out of tune. You know, what's so wrong with being out of tune as long as the performance is really giving it. And so I was hoping for these performances to be that and to not overthink them. We tried to get whole takes as much as we could and you know, give it and leave it, you know, rather than make it perfect.
Please don't let me die in Florida.
I think that's a quote from my dad, actually. You know, he went to Florida to see off his brother and came back saying, you know, that would be awful. I don't want to do that. I have nothing against Florida. I lived there and I loved it. It was one of the best times of my life. And a lot of people go there from all over just to pass away. And I get it, the weather's good, but there's this rich background everybody leaves behind to go to these condos. And there's something very strange about that, you know, that elders are shipped off almost. Or if elders even just voluntarily ship themselves off. In a way it makes sense because we do live in a time where elders aren't really, you know, people don't have them. People don't make use of them, you know, and people don't grow into them. You know, we've got all these people around who've lived these lives and they have all this information and they get old and they become fairly insignificant, and it's strange. We should be asking people more about their lives. Ohio was something that grew out of playing with the Band of Joy. The feel of that was from hanging out with those guys and the way they grooved. Robert and I started working on things together and coming up with things on stage.
Meet me in the evening where the river is low. Meet me on the waters of the Ohio.
I was gonna pitch it to him as a song, actually, or actually, I wanted him to doctor the song for me because I was not working. So he went through it and went, "Oh, I think you should do this, 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 this. Slow it down and switch that and move this line in here. You got it." And he nailed it. It took him like 5 minutes to doctor this song up, and then we just sort of figured out a duet all the way through. Lots of times before writing songs, like the songs that live the longest to me, I have memories of feeling like crap before, like I want to figure something out, and I write a song and something shifts inside of me after I write it, and I don't even know why, but I just feel better. This has just always been my go-to for feeling better. When I was a teenager, I just realized I needed to sing. And so I would like run home from school and go straight into my closet and sing as loud as I could into the clothes on the hangers because I just needed to sing. It's just something it's how I work my stuff out.